in 30 seconds.
And now, introducing Casey Carter.
I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up.
Erotic boudoir. Adult, intimate, sexy, sensual. Allow AJ and Nick, the dynamic mother-daughter team, to assist you in customizing a personal pleasure package tailored to your intimate needs. They are highly knowledgeable and offer a professional touch. You can visit their store located at 2635 West Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, or browse more discreetly on their website at erotic-boudoir.com. And please be assured that both AJ and Nick are available to answer any questions you may have. Erotic Boudoir, helping you prioritize your pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Casey Carter.
Hey, it is Wednesday. It is time for Casey at Night. And let me real quick shout out some of the folks in the audience. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Hustlers in the building. Hey. All right, Chrissy, I see you, girl. I see you. And of course, the ever ready, always here, always on time, Jason. How you doing, Jason? All right. So, folks, first of all, if you watch the show, you know, after this show, I do boob tube. Let me just get that out. No boob tube tonight. So, it is kind of a light night for me. However, my guest tonight is whoo, let's just say she and I go back. You would think we go way back, but we don't even go that far back. But we go back far enough that we could probably talk all night just to catch up. Tonight's guest, if you have not heard of her, if you have not seen her, whether on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, where she is absolutely TikTok famous, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is the Mad Harlot, aka Penelope Proper, the Tea Tricks of Long Island, um, and I love bringing my friends on the show, right? And so she and we met on social media and just hit it off instantly like gangbusters. And I basically invited myself to one of her tea parties, and she graciously kept me on her guest list from one of her tea parties. So we're gonna talk about that when I bring her on, and yes, and you will see the absolutely fabulous makeup. Okay, I like to pretend like I know what I'm doing, but let me tell you, there is artistry going on that face, and it is pure magic. Hey, Duchess. Okay, so my friend Duchess Cashmere will be at Exotica with us in Chicago. I'm so looking forward to it. I was going to talk trash. I was going to talk trash, but I'm not going to talk trash. We're just going to say we're happy to see Duchess at Exotica. So, yes, 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 yes. All right, folks. So, you know, I want to get right into the show. So that means I'm going to jump on in to one of my favorite parts of the show, which is, of course, 5 Reasons to Watch Casey with the ever ready Lorenzo and his voice.
Yes.
All right, Lorenzo. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. First of all, let's get these people to check the subscribe button on YouTube or like if they like.
No, not if they like. They should just do it. And
Just do it, huh?
just do it. Yeah, like
All
Nike,
right.
just do it. Yep.
Just
Yep.
do it.
So, yeah, see, yes, Duchess, Mr. Lorenzo. Yes. Okay, so
All
are
right.
we ready for?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
The 5 reasons to watch Casey.
Okay, hold. Let me get myself together. Because y'all, listen, Lorenzo likes to practice this, and I'm now at the point where I'm like, I can't practice because if I don't, if I practice, I forget to shut them all down, and then they're all on the screen. So anyway, all right, go ahead, Lorenzo. Start
Yeah, we're good.
with.
All right. Number 5. To find out what ASN Lifestyle Magazine categories to nominate Casey in.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I forgot to put them down. But we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back. Right. Number 4. To find what the Mad
here we go
Harlot
again.
is.
To just fill in the blank what's supposed to be in there.
Oh, I'm good. To find what the Mad Harlot is wearing under all those layers.
Yes, I've been talking about this for forever. I want to know. Well, I want to know what's up under all them layers.
Yes.
What I'm saying. All right.
Number 3. To find out what's really in the Mad Harlot's teacup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2. To start a poll on what Casey will wear to Ladies' Night, Exotica Chicago.
Oh, y'all not ready. You're not ready. I'm going all. It's just, yeah. I'm being all extra this year is basically what I'm saying. I'm being all extra. So
we gotta start a poll. Let's see. They're not ready for that.
They're not ready. Okay.
And of course, the number 1 reason, the cleavage cam.
Okay. Anywho, thank you, Lorenzo.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, so now that I've got those shenanigans out of the way, I'm going to jump to a quick break and we will be back with the Mad Harlot. Stay tuned.
Erotic Boudoir. Adult, intimate, sexy, sensual. Allow AJ and Nick, the dynamic mother-daughter team, to assist you in customizing a personal pleasure package tailored to your intimate needs. They are highly knowledgeable and offer a professional touch. You can visit their store located at 2635 West Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, or browse more discreetly on their website at erotic-boudoir.com. And please be assured that both AJ and Nick are available to answer any questions you may have. Erotic Boudoir, helping you prioritize your pleasure.
Hey, and we are back. So as I mentioned a little while ago, thank you, hustlers. As I mentioned a little while ago, the Mad Harlot and I, we met on Twitter, and she was promoting these tea parties. I had never been to a tea party. They just looked absolutely amazing, and I was like, I have to come to a tea party. So the Mad Harlot and I got together and went to one of these tea parties. Let me just show you a little bit of what that looked like. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mad Harlot. First of all, I ran that video out of sequence because I just wanted them to see. So let me go back to your first screen here. Ladies and gentlemen, Penelope Papa, aka the Mad Harlot. Hi, beautiful, and her teacup. Yes.
Hello, beautiful lady. It's so exciting to see you.
I know. I mean, I saw you last. Oh, I did see you this year, didn't I? Yeah.
Yes, at
This last
Exotica.
year. Oh, it still feels like forever ago though.
I know. It's too long.
It
It's too
is
long between times that we get to see each other because we live so far away. Because you're in Georgia and I'm in New York, so
exactly.
it's a
But
little bit of a travel.
and to that point, I got on the aeroplane to come to that tea party.
I was so honored to have you. It was unbelievable. I was so excited. Do you know that I searched high and low for the perfect teacup for you?
Oh.
I knew you were going to wear black, and I wanted to have something that went with your outfit, your skin tone. I wanted something that was going to complement you. So that burgundy teacup I hunted for like
Oh,
3 weeks before you got there.
I loved it. Absolutely love it. It was just first of all the table setting. Okay, wait. Let me back people all the way up. Talk to us about the tea parties. Talk to us about the Mad Harlot Society.
Okay, so it's very simple and very complex at the same time. The Mad Harlot Tea Society is really just a bunch of empowered, provocative women and female presenting people who truly want to get together and share space. I apologize for the cough. I do have a little upper respiratory infection. Um, and who want to let their hair down, for lack of a better word. I mean, literally, a tea party is a bit of a fantasy. So we share a fantasy for 2 hours.
And that's first of all, okay. So going back to what I said about female presenting. So I didn't post some of the photos because I'm like, some of the photos were with some of the guests, and I'm like, and you want to kind of know you can do all of that. But that was something that was also really fun about being at the table. Is
You were at one of my vanilla tea parties. You haven't come to one of
I
my more
I
X-rated
know, and
ones.
that's what's so crazy is when you said that to me, I was like, okay, well then this is interesting nonetheless. And so that has got to be all the more tantalizing, dare I
One
say?
of the ones I would love to do with you is that we do a clothed female nude male where the men serve.
Mm.
And we also do a whole, sissy made tea as well. I am the naughty Mary Poppins of tea. And I mean, I do tea parties from, little children's princess tea parties all the way to exotica style tea parties. So, I run the gambit of very G rated to very X rated, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And so that table setting, though,
That's kind of standard no matter which one it is.
and
I'm very
it's
particular
I,
in that.
it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I loved the individual teapots. I loved the individual teacups. I love the fact that your brain, I think, initially tells you that it should all be uniform, but it was the individuality of the place settings that made the table so gorgeous.
And that's very important to me because it does represent women as a whole. I think it's really important to have those spaces, and that each person who attends my tea parties. Now, just to backtrack a tiny bit, we do also do mixed tea parties that are everyone is welcome, men and women and everyone. But my specialty is really the empowered female space.
Hmm.
So the one that you attended was a female and female presenting.
Hmm.
And what's really interesting is that most of my vanilla tea parties will have everyone across the board. I mean, I had a tea party, the one right before the one you came to, actually. We had two nuns sitting next to two strippers. And they all exchanged numbers and were dear friends afterwards, and they've come to other tea parties. And I do run my own, those were my own personal tea parties,
Hmm.
but more than that, most people hire me to be the MC, or as I like to call it, the tea note speaker, the tea note address speaker. And I go all over the country doing tea parties that people hire me to do. I consult and sit head of table as the entertainment and basically the ringmaster. So I get to do all of it, which is so much fun.
And that's, I think, what's so special about the experience was you at the head of that table and literally kind of conducting what the experience felt like, what the
Yes.
experience was like, from how the guests were, in mingling and chatting, to how we were served. And speaking of how we were served, can we talk about the food? Oh my God. I felt like such a little piglet because first of all, I love finger food. I absolutely, like, legit, give me a plate of little food. I would probably gorge on the little food, right? So,
I'm the same way. Tea is very special. And as you know from our conversations prior to this, um, these tea parties are really my grandmother's legacy.
mhm.
And although she was a little bit more of a propriety, she's had a little more propriety than I do, because I am a little bit provocative. Well, I'm a lot
Lot
provocative
provocative.
and, very adult. And I do, I write erotica and I'm a sex educator and all that. And I bring all of that to my tea parties. But the tea party itself, the tradition, the protocols, they really lend themselves very well to kink
Mhm.
in their in the regiment of it, and that whole concept of the finger food and how it's served and why it's served. Those protocols are very important for the experience, and I personally love the people who come to my tea party to go away feeling full. It's a sensual experience, no matter if it's food or whatever it is. It's a sensual experience, and that is something I really pride myself upon.
Well,
So
let me tell you, the food was delicious.
my
Because I
grandma's
remember.
recipes.
Okay, see, and I was gonna say I wanted to talk about the fact that you saw in the little montage of photos, the towers, the tiers with the sandwiches and all of the desserts and all of the different food. And I remember, I don't remember if you said you made all of it, but I know you made quite a bit of it.
For my own tea parties, I do a lot of the food. When I host other people's tea parties, I work with their caterers.
Mhm.
So I have control over it, but not as much control over like what I do
Right.
with mine. Now, you came to a very specific tea party as well, because all of my tea parties are themed.
Mm-hmm.
And you came to the Great Gatsby tea, which
Mm-hmm.
was themed after the Gold Coast and what they would have had in the Great Gatsby. Of course, we used a lot of my grandmother's British recipes as well, because they are traditional.
Right.
But we did try to model the food. The whole setting, what I wore specifically was not Victorian like I
Right.
usually do.
Right.
But it really was very conducive to what the theme of that one was. I wish you had come to the Pirates Tea Party, which
Mm.
was the ladies of the high seas, and we
Oh.
celebrated all the female pirates,
Oh.
and had Salamagundi and rum punch and all of that themed
Okay.
food, which was fun.
Okay. Are we back into Tea Party season? Are we back to doing it? Or are we
Well,
still
now that the COVID restrictions, I mean, we were literally shut down completely,
right?
unfortunately, because we couldn't have any parties, couldn't have any
Right.
gatherings. Which seems to be what has really prompted the shift to me going around the country
Mm-hmm.
hosting other people's tea parties rather than continuing to host my own. I do still a few of them of my own throughout the year, but not. I used to do one every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't because I'm so busy going out. So now that the restrictions are down, those are picking back up again. Also working on a little TV show. I did have one on YouTube called Impropriety and Decadence, but that studio shut down.
Okay.
Not my issue. But I do have another one in the works. We're filming it in kind of an adult film studio.
Okay.
So as soon as we're as soon as that content finds somebody to take it out there, we'll be putting that out as well. But I'm too busy to do my own tea parties and all of the catering now, which is fine with me because like I will be making an appearance at Exotica. I
Mm-hmm.
just did tea parties for a convention in upstate New York. I'll be going back to New Jersey to do another one. When we got shut down, I had tea parties in Los Angeles that were canceled.
Oh,
So I mean, I
wow.
was going everywhere, and I really hope that picks back up again. And thank God for TikTok because that kept us alive.
Oh, yeah. Put a pin on the TikTok. We're gonna talk about TikTok. We're gonna talk about TikTok. As a matter of fact, let me go to the next break so we can talk about the TikTok. Yes.
Absolutely.
Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. All right. So, as I have been saying for the last few weeks, it is Exotica season, starting with Chicago, April 29th through May 1st. You need to be there. I'll be there. Duchess Cashmere will be there. DV Passion will be there. They were on the show back in March. And King Hef is going to be there, and he's going to be on the show in May. So don't miss the opportunity to see me and some of my past and present future guests. And yeah, so typically on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, I do boob tube. Tonight, no boob tube. But still, mark your calendar because I think we're doing it next week. I'm not sure if we're doing it next week, but nonetheless, you need to be here to find out for sure. So I will see you next week at 7 o'clock.
I'm gonna do some video on TikTok.
All right, so I am back. And my guest again is Ms. Penelope Proper. And just a few moments ago, we were talking about her tea parties, where basically that's what caused us to meet and to become fast friends. But during the COVID era, in addition to apparently hosting other parties, she basically blew the hell up on TikTok. And so we're going to talk about the TikTok. And so lovely. You and the TikTok. Let's talk about how that blew up.
I'll be very honest with you. I'm not even sure. I know that one of the ways that one of the things that I started doing was now, and unfortunately, I kind of wound up being confined to home for two reasons. One, because of COVID and nothing was open. And then two, I fell down a flight of stairs and had to recuperate. And so one of the ways I did that was, as you know, I make all my costumes. So I started making costumes and making masks and just doing little videos of me doing those things. And people got really interested. And then once the weather got a little bit nicer, I started putting on all of my Victorian finery, the big giant hats and the bustles, and just going outside and making naughty, slightly provocative, kind of PG-16 commentary. And all of a sudden it was like, poof, 100,000 followers was like overnight. It was like, oh my God. Now I get throttled a lot on TikTok, although I love the platform. I have a tendency to get zinged for community violations because I offend people.
Oh,
so
well.
there's a lot of pearl clutching that happens. Particularly, unfortunately, and I think you'll probably identify with this one, men don't like some outspoken women.
Yes, ma'am. Facts.
And I have a tendency to get zinged by the men who are a little offended by my confidence and self-efficacy and self-agency. And for some reason, sexually overt women who are in very much control and proud of their sexual prowess and ability are considered threatening. And so I love calling them out, and then I wind up getting zinged. But we're still surviving, and I'm trying to make the best of it. That's why I started the slightly PG-13 channel, just in case. But I love the platform. I really do. I have so much fun with it. I go live on Friday nights and Sunday nights, Eastern Standard Time, and I have a great time. I love getting in my costume and being naughty.
And what time do you go live on Friday and Sunday?
10 p.m. to 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, Fridays and Sundays.
Okay. All right. Just in case y'all ain't got nothing to do.
Come visit me, ask questions. I love talking to people. Usually what happens is my lives wind up boiling down into sex education. Because I'm an intimacy coach and I do a lot of sex education, and people have come to know that. So I'm not just, a girl in makeup with a big top hat. I actually, I have some schooling. So, I wind up getting in all these conversations, and then somebody gets offended that we used a word like penis and zing.
Oh, Lord.
Community standards violation. I actually got taken off of TikTok for a day because someone asked me, why harlot? Why am I the mad harlot? Why are we using the word harlot in our name? So I went back and gave the historic definition of the word harlot, because most people associate it with the concept of prostitution and sex for sale, and really the term originated as an outspoken woman and as someone who had self-agency in that time period. And then, of course, most of the women who had their own jobs and self-agency at that time were madams. So the term kind of got intermingled with the profession, and you have the word harlot. But originally it was really just an outspoken woman who spoke her mind and moved through a man's world as a female presence. And explaining that got me banned.
Lord. It's so freaking sensitive. Oh,
I'm
my
such
God.
a rebel.
Oh, my God.
Oh, by the way, I know that it's Boob Cam Wednesday, so I made sure I got them out for you.
Okay, wait, hold on. We're gonna have to do some things here. I gotta figure out how to quickly, oh, see, I'm over here moving stuff around. I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. Okay, do me a favor. Can you stand up and get this in the camera? Can we just,
I can.
there we go. Yes,
There you
thank
are.
you. Okay.
Boobs out Wednesday.
There we go. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for playing along. I appreciate that.
For you, anything.
I appreciate that. Okay. So let us talk about um and I moved my screen in trying to get your boobs on the screen. See, even I get distracted by boobs.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love boobs?
So let's talk about the other times you and I are together, which is when we have that moment at Exotica.
Oh my
And
God, I love Exotica. I look forward to Exotica all year. I love Exotica. I really want them to put me on the roster this year. I
oh,
really want to MC.
oh, okay, you're not going to get Jordan's job. I can tell you that.
Well, last year they said that I could, they'll work with me, that might be able to do a little bit of emceeing. I would love to. I mean,
Okay.
in that big costume, you can't miss me. And
No. Okay.
everyone listens when you have a British accent.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, so well then that being said, I'm going to we'll talk to some people, see who's saying what and
Nice.
what we might be able to finesse.
Because
But
I'm going to be walking around taking pictures with everyone anyway. I might as well
you
be on their
just
list.
give a hot second on the mic. I mean, or is there okay, hold on a second here. Computer, not now computer. Or is there some other way we can get you on the stage? You and I will have to have an off-air conversation about that because
Absolutely.
okay, hold on, my computer. Okay, don't I was gonna say don't do it. This thing is trying to update. I'm busy working. Now is not the time to update. Okay, so here's a little bit of the Harlot and I at Exotica.
Talking dirty, playing cheap. I know I'm in too deep. Running out of kryptonite to take you through the night.
God, we have fun.
Yeah, yes. Yes, absolutely, ton of fun. And it was funny because when I was, looking to pull pictures, I'm like, oh my god, there's so many. There, there's so many. I just grabbed a few, just to, try to catch all the different moments. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is
I love Exotica.
and it's so funny because I tell people I meet a lot of people at Exotica. I just happened to meet you on Twitter and
Right.
found out that we both had this thing for Exotica.
I really wish that, like, back in the old days when I was an adult performer, that I knew about Exotica, or that
Mhm.
Exotica, it didn't exist back then, but like it did, because it back in the 90s it was a little bit more isolated, when you
Right,
worked in the industry. And
right.
um I feel every time I go to Exotica, I feel so loved, so appreciated, so at home. I mean, I see, film stars and authors and cam people there that I see every year, friends that I see every year like
Mhm.
you. And it's like no time passed.
Right.
It's always like coming home. And you know, I put these things up online, and a lot of people don't understand the kind of camaraderie that is in the adult industry, and how we all come together as this big family, and it doesn't matter what your kinks are, what your swing is,
Mhm.
what movies you do or you don't do, your sexuality, your orientation, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We're all this one big family, and it's just absolutely, it's just something so beautiful to witness. What's really funny for me is, like, I'll never forget the very first Exotic I ever went to, and I was really nervous, and I'm like, well, it's been so long since I've been in the industry. I know no one's going to recognize me, and I'm okay with that. And there I walk in, and all of this, and I'm like, I'm in 100 layers of fabric,
Oh
and
yeah.
everyone else is naked, like,
Right.
for the most part. And I tell you, I was like, I didn't know how I was going to be received, with this kind of sexy, non-sexy kind of thing.
Mhm.
and the reception was absolutely mind-boggling. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to leave. I cried. We went home that Sunday, and I'm in tears all the way home from New Jersey to New York. I'm like, can we go back? Like, can we go to the next one? I'm like, can we please? I'm like, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave, and it was. I mean, you should have seen the tears when they canceled the Exotica for COVID. It's like, no.
You know, it's funny because I talk about how you go to these events and you don't realize you've been looking forward to it as much until you get there and you see people and it's like, I'm always amazed at the people who were like, "Oh my God, I've known you for years." I'm like, "I just started coming a few years ago." They're like,
Right?
"No, I've known
No,
you for
I've known you
forever."
forever.
Like, no, you have not. Like, I've only been going to Exotica. My first one was November of 2018. So I did November 2018 in Jersey. I did Chicago and Jersey in 2019. And then 2020 came.
I think I did my first one was 2017.
Okay.
Because I was already, I was already in the big costume. So I'm pretty sure it's 2000. It's yes, 2017. You were not there.
No.
Then you were there the next year.
And so it's crazy. Or is that right? Or did I go in 2017? Well, I because what boggles my mind is there are legit people who I know I don't tell them. There are folks who I don't remember meeting, and then when I go through the pictures, I'm like, oh my God,
Yep.
oh my God, and
that was just me the other day.
yeah, and it's funny because some of them have been on on Billboard or in the promos or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know how that happened. I don't know how. And kind of to your point about the outfit and the fact that people see this fully clothed person and they're just as intrigued as the person not fully clothed, boobs out, pasties, ass out,
I
all of
was
that.
surprised. I was surprised.
Yeah, it's, 'cause from my own experience, first and foremost, outfit or not, you come with a certain energy. There's a very positive, empowered, as you're saying, energy about you, and it leads as you come into the room. So I know I've met a lot of people at Exotica based on that same idea. I became friends with Rita Daniels because of that. I know, right? Talk
I keep
about
trying to get have lunch with her or something because she doesn't live all that far from me. She's
right.
like
Yeah.
she's in Brooklyn and I'm on Long Island. She's 60 miles away. Going out there and seeing her is no
It would
big deal. And I talked to her online. Love her.
she's oh my God, that's a whole nother, we'll talk about that offline too, because she's spectacular. But it's Exotica is that place where women can go and feel um, in total control of who they are and what they do. And they embrace that concept by making Friday ladies' night where ladies get in free. And when I tell you Fridays are packed out, you can't see from the front to the back because of how many people show up on Friday. And Friday is one of the shorter nights.
Oh yeah, this past one was impressive. I was so impressed with the crowd.
Yeah. And it was like that all year. All year. All 4 locations had like just the best crowds, and I don't know. I almost stopped going. And once I started doing boob tube on Exotica TV, I kind of fell in love with it again. And when I went back last year for that first one, I saw all my family, the family reunion.
And that's what it is. It's a reunion every time. There are people there that I look forward to seeing every year, like so much. And I'm friends with them on TikTok, and I'm friends with them,
Mhm.
on Facebook or whatever. But when you see them in person, it's just it's life affirming. And excuse me,
Mhm.
what's really interesting is, and I get a lot of questions by civilians, asking me, oh, well, they see the pictures and they're like, oh, it's all about sex and everything. I'm like, let me tell you something. I have never felt so respected
Mhm.
and so appreciated as I do within the adult community. It's
Yeah.
just, it's respectful.
And it's funny because last year, I don't remember which location. I don't remember if it was the DC, if it was Jersey, but there was one location where I had a couple of young men stop me and wanted to know if I filmed, if I was doing films. And I explained that I didn't do film. And they were like, "No." I was like, "No." And they were like, "No." I'm like, "No." "You sure?" "Yeah, no, I'm sure." And then it was like, "Well, okay, can I take a picture with you anyway?" Like, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But there's that thing where they're like, really, and I kind of took it as, you don't, like, kind of like, you look like you do, you look like you should. Yeah, no, I don't. Like, oh, okay. And I've had other people in the industry tell their fellow adult entertainers, no, Casey doesn't, she doesn't do porn. They're like, really? I could swear I saw her. I'm like, well, if you did, find it. I want to see it because I don't recall. But it is absolutely that place where everybody respects whatever your position is.
And I give the credit to that to Exotica itself, to the people who run Exotica. They have groomed and attend their attendees to be so respectful,
Hmm.
to have that it's a culture of respect on all fronts. And
Hmm.
um, never have I been able to witness the concept of consent culture
Hmm.
better than at Exotica.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's beautiful.
it
It's
is
beautiful.
it's I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, we're gonna take a quick break so you can suck on your candy.
I like to suck on things, but
Ah!
today it's a cough drop.
Hold that thought, y'all. Let that swirl in your head. We'll be right back.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon'. Buttercup, I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up, I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up.
Okay. So that last promo is for a special Friday night, Casey at Night. That will be next Friday, April 22nd, 9 o'clock, with Eden Banton. She is the owner of a cigar line out of Chicago. And I had to have her on the show before I went to Chicago so that y'all will be looking for her because she's gonna come through to Exotica. Hopefully, she gonna bring me some of the Maduro cigars, and I'm dying to talk to her about the fact that she uses a ribbon as her cigar band. If y'all didn't catch that, I don't know how, but don't miss that. But next week, 420. My guest will be Mizzy and Spencer from Mindbender Parties. If you follow them, you already know they have been promoting the hell out of themselves being on the show. I'm so looking forward to having them. They are cute as all get out. And it's going to be a lot of fun having them on the show. But for my guest here, Penelope Propo, the Mad Harlot. So, what's up under that skirt, girl?
Mostly men.
Thank
Whoever
you.
has the best tongue game.
Ah! Okay. There we
And
go.
of course, my lucky G-string.
Yes. All right. So now we know what's up under that dress. Okay.
Are you kidding me? There's enough yardage. I can hide an entire gangbang under there.
I was about to say, we've talked about the construction time because that is what it is. You are not sewing a dress, you are constructing.
Oh yeah.
You are erecting these outfits.
The one that I wore for the last one, that Exotica was its debut, the lavender and white one. That is 15 yards of Italian embroidered silk, $120 a yard. And that doesn't include the lining for everything, the underskirt as well, the bustle cage, the bustle pad, the corset, the hat.
Yeah, see, and I had video of it, and I was running through all my stuff today, and I'm saying to myself, "There's something I'm missing. There's something I'm missing." You, when you said that, I'm like, "Oh, that's what I'm missing." I had the video of all the dress, all the layers, the silk, the flowers, the everything. I mean, how long does something like that take?
It depends. It depends. That one took me a very long time because, COVID happened and then I was making masks for so long and I wasn't well. Usually, if you want to break it down into hours, it's somewhere between 36 and 50 hours, depending on the dress. And usually that's spread out over the course of months because you can't do that all at once, especially if you're working, doing other things. That particular dress was a labor of love. It took the longest of any dress I've ever done because there's so much hand sewing on that one. All those little flowers on that bustle were all hand done. But it's a labor of love, and it is how I keep my grandmother alive because it was her legacy. She taught me.
Okay.
When she came to America, she was a dressmaker and hat maker in Manhattan, and she passed that on to me. So, my little Spanish British grandmother.
Okay, and let's talk about these hats. Can we talk about the hats?
They're my pride and joy, please.
First of all, in that little montage from the tea party, one of the photos was me in a black hat with a very strange man in the background. Y'all probably didn't notice. That would have been like a Where's Waldo type situation because in all of the hat stuff, there was a face in the background. But the hat, let me just put this in perspective for all of you. You see the Mad Harlot in these hats, and they are, ridiculously adorned. The hat in and of itself is magnificently constructed. And then she's got all of these things all individually picked to be on that hat, right? Let me tell you something. If your neck game ain't good, you are going to fall over because these hats weigh a ton. They weigh a ton.
The lightest hat I have is 5.5 pounds. The heaviest is 9.7. And that's the one that goes to the 50 Shades of Earl Grey gown.
Honey,
that one is ridiculous.
they're heavy. They're very, very heavy. And even if you look at how I have the hat on, you'll actually see one of my hands is just slightly to the side of the brim because this was my first time putting one of those on. And I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Like, ah!
The hardest part is that they have, because they're so heavy, they have to sit very, very tight on the head.
Mhm.
So at the end of the night, when I take those hats off, I have an indentation. I literally have a dent in my head, and it is the funniest thing ever. Every on Friday nights after Exotica, as a general rule, G and I go to the Indian restaurant, that Indian Palace restaurant right down the road.
Right.
If you haven't been there, you have to go. The food is amazing.
Okay.
So every time we go, I get dressed back into regular pretty clothes and I take the hat off, and they always look at me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And they point to my head because I have this red dented line right across my head. I look like I
Okay.
just like, oh, it's terrible, but it's hysterical. It's so funny.
Well, the hats are magnificent. And I mean, because I know the hat in and of itself, you have sent in from Europe.
Yes, the I used to make them myself, but the buckram never sits up to all the heavy
Mhm.
Swarovski crystal and everything because I use all real stuff for the most
Mhm.
part, and real metal components, real crystal. Um, and so you need something that gets really, that has a good, structure to it.
Right.
So now I have them come in from Italy, and it's a very expensive shell, but it's a felted wool, pure felted wool, satin lined, and they hold up beautifully. But I can't mold them to my head, so they're always a little bit awkward in that respect. Um, but I love the whole concept of the hat is where I start for every dress. I make the
Mhm.
hat first, and
Ah.
then the gown follows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, the hat definitely is everything. The hat is, oh my gosh. And because I also sew, I'm familiar with being, comfortable or accustomed to looking at all the little fine details in the dress, but the hat is definitely the magic.
That's my I tell you, it's not an easy outfit to wear for 8 hours, but I feel so beautiful when I wear it. I do. I feel gorgeous. I feel so powerful. I feel so sexy, and
It's
um,
spectacular. Okay, wait,
it really it's amazing.
let me go back to this Exotica video because I mean, it is absolutely spectacular. Hold on, here it is.
Talking dirty, playing cheap. I know I'm in too deep. Running out of kryptonite to take you through the night.
Okay, so let's talk about something I did not mention, but is clearly in all the videos: the fangs.
I love my fangs. They are so much a part of who I am. Even outside of being Penelope proper, I have a vampire aesthetic. I always have. I write a lot of vampire and occult literature, and I've always been attracted to the concept of the sensuality of the vampire.
Hmm.
Um, I actually do a seminar at a lot of conventions that is the sexuality of the vampire.
Ooh.
Why do we find the vampire sexy? Why is there universal sex appeal to the vampire? Because I used to teach high school literature.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Throw that in there. She was a regular kind of gal at one point, or at least
I was a high school teacher and a stripper at the same time.
and I was getting ready to say a regular kind of gal, at least presenting as a regular kind of gal.
Speaking of literature, have you gotten to read any of my stuff in ASN?
I have not. I have been crazy, crazy busy, but I had promised myself in my flight to Chicago. There's a lot that I have to catch up on because you're now in Exotica in I'm sorry, in ASN, and Duchess Cashmere is now in ASN. And so I'm like, oh, my friends and family.
I
So
know it's like one big family. I started out with just an introductory, and
mhm.
then I do every time I go to a sex club, I write a review.
Okay.
So I've been doing my sex club review, and this is the big one from us. It's like in 4 parts. So
Oh.
the third part will be out next month, and then the fourth part. And because it was it was really exciting.
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
and on a side note for the fangs, one of the my favorite endeavors with my fangs on is doing a little with the
Ah,
fangs in. I actually had a guy almost pass out at a party
really?
because he got so when he saw me do that with the fangs in, he just was like he just had all this like fear of getting bit there, and just lost it. His eyes rolled back in his head, and he actually passed out. It was
Oh
so
my God. Okay. Well, because you and I got our fangs from the same place, right?
Horror Show Jack.
Yes, yes.
He is my favorite fangsmith. I have had fangs from other people, and I have known Jack for 10 years. He is a very dear friend, and he's an artist.
He really is.
Absolute artist.
And I should have brought my fangs in here to pop them on. I've got to bring them into my studio room.
I need a
Um,
new pair because I lost mine after the last Exotica.
no way. Okay. Well, Horror Show Jack is the epitome of fang making. And what I loved about it is, I was in there on a Friday, did the whole mold and everything, and had my fangs on Saturday the next day. And he's fantastic.
And
Fan-
not only is he an amazing artist, but he is a good human being. He is an
yes. Oh my
awesome,
God.
awesome person. I
Love him.
adore him.
Love him. I mean, like once we met, we were busy chatting with each other. Hey, how you doing? How's it
I'm
going?
sure.
Where you going this week? Oh my God, sounds fantastic. And because he does is it Stalker Con that's down here
Yeah.
for The Walking Dead, and I was like, oh my God, let me know when you're going to be here in town. Now, of course, that was just prior to COVID. So, yeah. But yeah, Horror Show Jack is the best. If you're even remotely thinking about fangs, folks, I want you to know he's the guy. He's got an array of fangs. So, no two fangs are alike.
He's
No two fangs.
amazing. He's
Yes.
amazing. I can't say more nice things about him or his skill. My favorite thing I've ever done with Jack is we actually were on a roasting team where
Oh.
we roasted people together on
Oh wow.
stage, and it was great.
Oh,
He's great to
okay.
work with.
So, lovely. We have come to the end of the show
Oh, I'm
where
sad.
I know. But you and I will have to circle back around and do this again and stuff. But
Absolutely. And I'm going to be at two Exoticas this year. I'm going to be
oh,
at New Jersey and DC.
yay! Oh, that's exciting. We have got to plan to do something
Oh,
together.
hell yeah.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Now that I know, and we've got tons of time to plan, we gonna plan something. Okay. But in the meantime, where can they find you?
Absolutely. TikTok at the_mad_harlot. Instagram is the same, the Mad Harlot. And Twitter, I believe, is also the Mad Harlot. But TikTok is where the magic is happening.
Yes, TikTok is, yeah, that is where the magic happens, is the TikTok. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it really is.
And are you going to be hosting any tea parties anywhere?
I do have several conversations happening about getting me at certain places. So I can't commit to putting
Mm-hmm.
those out until the contracts are signed.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you I will absolutely be at Exotica in New Jersey and DC. So
Okay.
those are absolutes at the moment.
Okay, we will take those and run with it. So if you are planning to be at Exotica, DC, or Jersey, know for a fact, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it will not be hard to find the Mad Harlot. I
Oh,
promise you. You
you won't
saw
be able to
the
miss me.
outfits. You saw the outfits. Girlfriend will be tipping through with her walking cane and the whole nine, so you will not miss her in the least bit. And like I said, I'm gonna be over the top this year, my damn self. So
They'll just listen for me and you screaming,
there you
"Ah,
go.
Casey!"
There you go. There
And
you
then you'll be able to find us. And when if anybody does see me at a convention, please ask for a photo. I love photos. If you've printed out a picture of me, I will sign it for free. I get asked that all the time, and that's fine. I love meeting with my fans. I love meeting people.
And before I officially let you go, I'm a bring in the voice here.
Hi!
Hey.
Hello, sexy.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you in Jersey. We might have to do that Indian thing too, definitely.
Oh, you definitely have to join us there. It is the place. The food is incredible. Me and my dented head and their absolutely delicious food.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Well, lovely.
This has
I'm
been such an honor.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you were able to squeeze me into your schedule.
Honey,
And
I will squeeze you in anywhere you
mm,
want to be.
can I get up under that skirt?
Oh, baby. We'll take both of you.
And
There we
please
go.
tell the lovely Gerard
Absolutely.
that we said hello and greetings and all of those things.
Yes, my wonderful fondler. I mean, handler.
I was gonna say, I first of all, I got a big old kick out of watching him walk in and out of your scene. I'm like, dude, you might as well say something. I see you.
Somebody had to bring me cough drops and water and tea.
I love it. I love it. So it was wonderful having you, love. I so appreciate it. Thank you for
I
also
love you so
honoring.
much. Thank you so much for having me. I cannot wait to see you in person.
Yes, I listen. We're gonna go nuts. We're gonna talk about that offline. And I appreciate you indulging us in the cleavage cam, giving us your own cleavage. Yeah. So, all right, all. As I mentioned, there is no Exotica tonight, so I don't know. Do something. Exercise. Get snack. I don't know. But don't miss next week. My guests again are Mizzy and Spencer from Mindbender Parties.
I
And
want to go to one of their parties.
listen, we need to find out because they'll be on next week. I'll find out what the deal is because they're out on Long Island,
I know. I
and
I believe they go to the mayor's parties. I think we've actually met them. But it was
ah,
obviously nothing's happened with COVID.
right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to find out what Mizzy and Spencer are up to and what their schedule looks like. I do know they came through, um, I think it was Jersey
Yeah, they came to both Jersey
and
and
DC, right?
DC.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Mhm.
you never know. They may be at Jersey and DC. So sounds like a party.
I can't wait.
All
Beautiful
right, love.
lady, sexy gentleman. Mwah, I love you so much. You guys have
Love
a
you.
beautiful night, and thank you again for having me.
Thank you, hun. See you real soon. Bye.